Rev up your engines! Check it out, I found something worse than electric cars. Robotic electric lawnmowers. I decided to try one of these robotic lawnmowers out. This particular one is a motion, and it cost around $3,000, which is pretty much what I paid for my John Deere lawnmower that's been faithful as can be. Now, I came into the idea of a robotic lawnmower as an interesting idea, thinking, hey, if the robot can mow the lawn, I don't have to do it. First, you gotta have an app. In this case, it's the motion app. You set it all up using this app. And believe you me, if you're not a computer nerd, it's gonna really throw you off. It is a pain to read and to set the stuff up. It's not ready for prime time. The app itself is not ready for prime time. It just isn't. And I find this problem with many Chinese products. They make a product, they have an app, and this is the second version, because when I plugged this thing in, it said, you'll have to upgrade firmware, robot will not work. So I had to upgrade the firmware, and luckily I got wireless here. A lot of people don't have wireless outside, so that makes it kind of a pain in the butt. So after setting it up, I realized it's kind of a pain to set this thing up. But then I thought, okay, let's see what Amazon people have to say. And as usual, I disregard the 5-star ratings, because most of those, you can tell they're make-believe. You can just tell. They're often verified purchases where the company has someone buy it, they reimburse them the money to say positive things about it, right? One review is called YouTube Reviews Can Be Trusted and gives it 5 stars. You know you can't trust these because people are getting paid to make them. I don't get paid by anybody. I test these things out honestly. The thing about these are, they are quiet. They're extremely quiet. But you got a quiet machine going. If a cat sticks its hand under there, goodbye cat. You gotta be very leery about these things. You gotta do real testing, which I did, and I'm gonna show you why I see it as a very miserable failure if you have a normal yard. My yard is pretty normal. I got trees, right? And as we walk around, there's various areas. You want to mow the whole thing, right? Got trees over here. I got open area over here, but you got to go around the house and you got to get to the backyard. There's various angles. There's a lot of grass to mow, right? It takes me an hour on my riding lawnmower. Well, I tried to mow the whole thing with this, but I gave up because it kept stopping. Anytime it get near the trees, it would lose the GPS signal and it would just stop where it was. Comes with this pole that's returned to home, right? This is on the charging station. You can also mount this on your house in different places, right? But this thing has to be calibrated for GPS. You can't move it around. Every time you move it, you'd have to recalibrate the stupid thing. And it won't contact when it's on the other side of the yard. The house is in the way. Now, I suppose if you had a perfectly rectangular yard with no trees and you set this thing up, it would probably go back and forth. Now, I've seen guys mow it. They'll mow something like that, but they said, well, it took me 7-8 hours to mow that one patch. It's extremely slow. Now, it is quiet. Turn it on. That's it. It's very quiet. You can hear it. It's quiet. There it goes. It's a very quiet machine. It's also very slow. And it does have all kinds of sensors on it, but as you can see, they don't work all that well. I programmed this thing to do a pattern and it ran up the tree. It's supposed to have bumper protection that stops it. It didn't. It has these sensors, this sensors, these sensors, and sensors on the back, but they don't seem to work very well. The other thing that I found, which was patently absurd, was that of course it has a short mowing. It can only mow for like 15-20 minutes max. It's supposed to drive back to the charging station automatically and recharge itself. You can see it's supposed to automatically go back when it gets under 15% charge, but go back home, right? Okay, return to charge. It's not returning anywhere. And that's what the Luba right here, on a short distance away, I don't know, 15 feet, is the tower it's supposed to return to, but it's not returning. And yes, it's all powered up and everything, but it doesn't work. Now, if it can't return from there to over there, there's no hope of it turning if it's over there on the other side of the house. Yeah, it's slow, but it doesn't even do what it's supposed to do. Like I said, it'd move a little way. As soon as it got near a tree, turn itself off and sit there. If you're going to pay $3,000 to have the slowest lawnmower on earth operate manually by going manual, agree, turn it on, and now as you can see, there, it's mowing the lawn. See how slow that thing goes? You would have to walk around it. It would probably take you 12, 14 hours to mow a big lawn like mine. It is quiet, I'll give it that. But to spend almost $3,000 for something like this, a great idea, but much like electric cars, it's got a long way to go. I realize this thing's brand new. I've seen people who bought electric lawnmowers. They broke within a week, a month, a year. The longest I saw one go was 2 years, right? I see my riding lawnmowers in this neighborhood. Some of them are 30-year-old John Deeres, and they're still going down the road. This is cheap plastic Chinese technology, totally overpriced. The wireless system is absolute garbage, and even the app, it's not even really that intuitive. You got to read all those pages of the manual, try to figure out how it works, only to find out after you make a map, the map doesn't work. And I tested this out honestly, and honestly, it's basically a pile of junk. I mean, really, look at the flip side. Here's the cutting blades. They're little razor blades, and these spin around. Come on now. And what really got my goat was this. I watched the video that they obviously paid someone to make on YouTube, right? And it shows it mowing right next to the fence, like my stone wall, and it says, I don't even need to use a trimmer. I can ride right up to the fence, right? So I look at their directions that they sent me with this thing. And what do the directions say? They say, don't get any closer than 8 inches to border. They know the thing isn't accurate. They know if you put it right up to the edge, it's going to keep smashing into it. And then eventually, like it did when it hit my tree, it shuts itself off. It's smart enough to shut itself off, but it wasn't smart enough to not hit the tree. What the heck are the sensors doing on that thing? Are they even attached to anything? Yeah, it's all-wheel drive, so they say it can climb all over the place. Well, you saw it did climb up the tree, right? But it doesn't stay in its boundaries. The stupid charging station, it doesn't return to the charging station. It has a very limited lifespan, and unless you want a lawn trimmer that you can follow with a phone at a very slow speed, you're better off buying a John Deere and mowing your yard in 45 minutes or an hour, and it looks beautiful, and it'll do it for decades. Not 15 minutes at a time, and then you gotta manually take it to the charging station because this one doesn't return. I mean, really, from here to there isn't that far. If it doesn't return from there, I tried it all over the yard, it doesn't return from any other place either. So I say belly up to this Lupa 2 all-wheel drive system for almost $3,000. They got a long way to go before they perfect these things. Don't listen to reviews and videos where people praise these things because they're either getting paid to say it or they got a free $3,000 robotic lawnmower and they signed a contract that says they're going to say good things about it. I don't sign such contracts. I tell the truth. And the truth is, these things are nowhere near ready for prime time. It's just another electric fantasy that doesn't pan out in the real world. And let's face the facts. This is a brand new one. What are they going to be like when they get a few years old? If they even make it that far. I read about the wheels falling off, the blades breaking because they hit a rock or something. I've run over all kinds of stuff with my John Deere. It's still going down the road. It takes a lot of energy to mow a lawn, and this thing doesn't have much energy. The wireless system isn't worth beans. They brag about you no longer need to bury a perimeter wire. This does it wirelessly. Well, at least the perimeter wires would work. They're set there and it can read the wire. This is using GPS. And the system does not work very well, especially if you got trees. Maybe if you got a football field to mow, but it would take so long to mow that football field, it would make your head spin. But let's not end on a depressing note. Here's an electric vehicle I love. It's a RAV GTX. I do have to say this is my all-time favorite electric bike for many reasons. I'll give you a quick rundown. Got huge motorcycle tires, right? Numero uno. Not only does it have disc brakes, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4 piston disc brakes. It's a very comfortable motorcycle seat. It's got a unishock for the back, which has dual air compression, both the cylinder here and the cylinder in here. It is a joy to ride. You can adjust the air pressure anything you want now. Admittedly, it was hard to adjust the top part, so I bought the $6 part on Amazon to put it at a right angle so I can get my air pressure here. The bottom one has the air pressure right here, so I didn't have to add an right angle one, so that was easy to get to. It has 2 batteries. Now I also added this. It already had the holes, but I bought these motorcycle style pegs online on Amazon, so somebody can ride on the back of it and it can pull them. But what I love best about this bike is the company gives you real directions, and it showed how you can up the ante. It's set to only go 20-something miles an hour tops. This one goes 37.8 miles an hour now because they showed you which buttons you can push on the controllers to up the speed. You don't have to search the internet by parts. They showed you which buttons to push, so I have it on the max speed. You can go whatever speed you want, but if you really want power and go, hey, this thing can go almost 38 miles an hour. And strangely enough, with the 2 batteries, it can go full speed for about 38 miles. That's quite a bit for a heavy vehicle like this. It has both suspension travel adjustments and damping rebound adjustment. This is a well-made bike. That stupid electric lawnmower, guess what? You drive this thing yourself. Very easy. You push the start button here. No interface or computers needed. Put it on 3, and it'll go as fast as you want it to go, up to 37.8 miles an hour. And I'm not talking downhill, I'm talking about straight line. Even climbing hills. Hills that I could barely do on a pedal bicycle, this thing will just fly up them, and you're still going like 25 miles an hour. Certainly a well-built machine. Now, it's not cheap. You can get various prices. Realize this is the GTX Rev with dual batteries, but even the top of the line one costs less than the stupid dead electric lawnmower. The hydraulic brake system is phenomenal. You can see really nice welds. You can upgrade it all you want. I've already upgraded it with the motorcycle peg so the grandkids can ride. Because I won't yet let them drive this thing. It's too fast for them. This is made for adults, people to know what they're doing. I've driven motorcycles since I was a teenager, so I know how to ride these things. They are relatively heavy. They're extremely fast. That's the fun in them, right? I gotta say, I'm riding this thing around a lot more than my motorcycles. It's more fun. I can go anywhere and have a lot of fun. Take it to the beach. It's gotta be the most fun I've ever had on an electric bike. Unlike the electric lawnmower that I was so excited about, I thought, hey, I won't have to mow my lawn, right? And spend an hour going around. The machine will do it. Well, the machine is a pile of crap. Oh, belly up on the electric self-driving robotic lawnmower, but thumbs up to this phenomenal electric bicycle. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.